Tonight's show is a little different. Tonight's show is about a man who's not really a man. He's a doctor, but he's not really a doctor. Like Dr. Phil, but awesome. Most people in the United States of America have not heard of him. He's just like me in that regard. Who is he? He's the Doctor.
All right, so we decided to chime in with our thoughts. There was a big nerd event that happened recently in which they announced who the new Doctor will be in Doctor Who. This is a show that I don't really watch. I've seen a few episodes and I have them set to watch. I will watch them eventually, I just don't have time. I have to make this wonderful program, so I don't have as much time as I wish I did. However, I am the only one here that saw World War Z, so Peter Capaldi,
you are, in fact, the only one that's seen
who was announced as the new Doctor. In World War Z, he was in it. He played a World Health Organization doctor, also known as a Who doctor. So, I think they were trying to tell people that. Granted, there were several Who doctors, but he was kind of the head Who
Scottish
doctor.
One.
Yeah. But so, anyways, I think that there could have been some things read into that. I'm surprised nobody mentioned that up. I remember watching World War Z, and as someone who doesn't really watch Doctor Who, as soon as they were like, we need to go to the World Health Organization, and they pull up, and it says Who, and then they're like, we need to find this doctor. I was going, what the hell is going on in this movie right now?
No, you're not the only one that's drawn.
So, I know, I'm sure. Anyways, I thought it was kind of weird at the time. Now here we are a couple months later, and Peter Capaldi has been announced as the new Doctor Who. I will now kind of take the reins over to these two and let them talk, since they actually watch Doctor Who regularly and are actually caught up on it. So, who would like to start?
I like
this discussion? Josh likes it. Counterpoint?
You like the fact that Peter Capaldi's the new Doctor?
Yes. I like that we're getting an older Doctor. I think that'll stop a lot of the Doctor companion sexy time plots.
Oh, that thing online about the fan fiction?
What? No.
Yeah, like,
I think you're talking about sexual tension.
Yes,
fangirls are like, God, the Doctor's old.
No.
And it's like, real Whovians are like, who gives a fuck? It's a Doctor.
Yeah. No, well, here's the thing. It's just like the last few plots since Moffat taken over. Well, even with David Tennant and Rose, there was like a lot of
sexual tension?
Like there was the sexual tension between the Doctor and the companion, which has been never an issue.
He's a youngish guy.
In entirety of the series up until then. But now that, like, because he was always played by an older guy. Even when they had him younger, it was always just like he was too fucking batshit crazy that it didn't matter. And they did that with Smith with like a little bit of he's just kind of like out there. And even if you had Amy Pond and woman who's almost interesting, God, what's her name? Clara. Clara, like it's like
Rob Stark's girlfriend.
Rob Stark's girlfriend. Even with that. It's just like now that we're getting back to an older Doctor, I can see that I just hope. I mean, it's not a guarantee. I mean, he may still go through space and time and bang a lot of widows. That's something he has an option to. But I just
bang a lot of widows.
I'm just saying now that because if we have an older Doctor, we don't have to worry about the young. We don't have to have the young chicks sitting there fawning over him and like spending half of the season going like, oh, why won't he notice me?
That's exactly.
I assume this hopefully will be the end of that stupid plot line that they've been pulling out.
Okay,
since
you're saying
forever.
David Tennant plot line stupid?
No.
Yeah, you're
right. All right. I'm saying that the way that Moffat wrote it was stupid.
I'll agree with that.
All right, there.
All right. I'll tell you what I thought when I heard Peter Capaldi was going to be the Doctor and saw a picture of him and all that kind of stuff, because they use the same. I'm sure we'll use the same picture as everyone else.
Yeah, no, I saw the one where he's like this or whatever.
He only has like one picture, so I'm sure we'll use the same picture and it'll probably be on your screen right
now.
Well,
he's older, but he doesn't look that much older.
But here's what I thought when I saw it. I wish Hugh Laurie would have been the Doctor. Hugh Laurie would have been fucking awesome, okay? So anyways.
But the thing is, he's Hugh Laurie.
I know, he's Hugh Laurie.
Can I actually say something about that?
I want Rowan Atkinson.
That would be interesting.
Here's
I know Mr. Bean. I know Rowan Atkinson.
When they announced that Matt Smith was
quitting... He played the Doctor in this thing.
When Matt Smith announced that he was quitting Doctor Who...
We don't need all the Blackadder cast.
And that they were going to be getting a new Doctor for the series and everything, I came up with ideas of I want this person to be Doctor. I want
Who
this
did you
person
want?
Doctor.
I want to know who you wanted.
Gord's the
last thing I remember was the guy who played Neville Longbottom in Harry Potter.
Really?
I thought he would make a good Doctor. But here's actually what I came to when they actually announced it.
I didn't get that.
They
from
announced
Harry
him,
Potter.
and I looked at him and was like, I have no idea who that is. And you know what? I'm
That's
fine with
good.
that.
Yeah.
I want the person I see to be the Doctor. No one I know except for as the Doctor. I know him as the Doctor. That's it.
Really? So
It doesn't take me out of the
has that
series.
always been the case, though?
I didn't realize it till then.
Do you know? To be fair,
Did you know Eccleston before he was the
No.
Doctor?
I saw fast.
Really?
I
Was
saw
it Gone in 60 Seconds before?
Well, then we
I did.
Yeah, it was.
But I didn't recognize it from there until I saw Gone 60 Seconds.
I mean, that's
again
not to say
after it.
that
It was
you
like,
can't know
that's
him
the
from
Doctor.
something, but
Yeah.
I mean, Eccleston, his career took off after Doctor Who, but up
Was
until
Tennant and Harry Potter before Doctor Who?
No.
no,
Or was that
After.
concurrent?
that was
Or-
I think either
that's
concurrent or
concurrent.
no, it had to be
I
concurrent.
don't know. Once again, we don't check facts before we do this, so I could be wrong.
I want to see Meat Flickwood. Mick Flickwood.
Mick Fleetwood.
That dude.
Regardless, even if
The Fleetwood Mac
even
guy?
if
I want rumors. I want the cover. I want the sepia fucking square. I want Stevie Nicks looking nonchalant over here. I want Mick Fleetwood looking over
rumors-
here with a vest on.
Look,
going,
you know,
fuck
You
me.
do know I did add that rumors thing in the news thing, which you can find the link to there if you want to watch our news.
just saying. I'm a Harry Potter fan. I've seen Harry Potter. I've read the Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. When Goblet of Fire came out and David Tennant was in it, I did not realize it.
I don't even remember what movie he was
until
in.
long after it was Goblet of Fire.
Yeah,
Well, you said
Goblet
Goblet
of
of
Fire.
Fire. I don't remember him.
He was Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah.
and whatnot. I did not
I
even
knew.
recognize him until I went through it again. I was like, that's fucking David Tennant. I was like, holy shit, I've seen this movie 3 or 4 times already. I didn't realize that. It's
No, I knew it.
David Tennant's career didn't pick up really, I feel, until
No,
after
he's-
Doctor Who.
that-
Even if it,
I mean,
even if
afterwards
Goblet of
he's done
Fire
some stuff.
was before Doctor Who, no. I knew him as the Doctor.
No,
That's
it's
what I
true. That
realized.
was probably his giant leap
Yeah.
to stardom.
Well,
right?
and I think that's
Matt Smith
that's
probably the same way.
yeah. No, I
really,
think
I'm not sold this
Well,
will
no,
happen again.
I don't
I'm
think
not
it
sold
will.
Matt Smith is going to be a big name
I know
now.
he's doing some stuff. He's
could
got
be, yeah,
got
sure.
a couple movies coming out that I've seen some promo work
I'm
for.
sure
Don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
don't think it will be big work. I just mean that people will see him. And
But
go,
even
"That's the Doctor."
Tennant kind
I
of
see a lot
stalled
of
though,
Doctor.
because Fright Night was supposed to be a big thing, and I liked the new Fright Night, the remake of Fright Night. I really liked it. I really liked Tennant in it also, and it never really took off. It kind of flopped
Yeah.
and it didn't do very good. And even though I thought it was a pretty good movie, he never really took off
I
after
can
that
see that.
either.
I'm not
So-
talking about success.
Now, Broadchurch is getting a lot of buzz right now, and Fox is remaking it, and he's
Or is that the
it's
one where
on
he's
shore.
supposed to be the actor? Or,
He's
or
like a
the-
detective.
the
It's like
lawyer?
it's a
Yeah.
murder
Oh, that's a
mystery.
different-
It's a murder mystery.
See, no,
show.
I heard-
It's supposed to be like Twin Peaks and or The Killing or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
No,
awesome.
No,
I
I
still have to
heard
watch the first episode.
after Doctor
but-
Who, Tennant was supposed to do a movie where he was like a lawyer that he was a lawyer that taught people how to represent themselves. It was like Rex.
Okay.
I know
Rex
he was
something
the
was
Detroit
is your
Bride.
the show was called Rex whatever is your lawyer.
Okay.
And it was picked up for a pilot after he left Doctor Who, and it was supposed to be for American
I
television.
thought he went to do Shakespearean movies or
No,
something.
no, well, he did that, but no, he
plays.
plays.
I meant
Yeah.
plays. Yeah.
and we can look this up later.
Maybe he did though.
But it was some sort of pilot where he wasn't a lawyer. He taught people how to represent themselves. It was like a pilot. It didn't get picked up, obviously, because it would be on air by now. Because it was right after he left Doctor Who. But then I know he did a bunch of stage productions, and he he's David Tennant. He was on Doctor Who. No one was going to let him go hungry, so people would go see his stuff.
You don't hear a lot.
But the same thing. No, I know Smith is doing I've seen trailers for 2 or 3 movies that Smith has coming out. Or at least,
Really?
maybe not movies, but maybe
I've
series.
seen 1 or 2.
Just
I looked
maybe
at
a
his
mini series. or something.
filmography,
Yeah,
what he has
because he
done.
shaved his head too,
Yeah.
and was doing stuff like
So
that.
him and Karen Gillan both shaved their head recently, huh?
But yeah, I've seen that sort of stuff, and
I
I'm
really
I don't
don't
think
think
he's
she
gonna.
needs
They
to
all
that.
were ready for the Elysium.
I don't see him picking up.
I
I don't think he's gonna take off as well as Tennant did.
No.
Because Tennant did. Well, I mean, Tennant went more to stage production.
Honestly, no offense to Matt Smith's performance
Well, it's
as the Doctor,
not
but
his
when I
performance,
watched it,
it's
I
the
thought like this isn't David Tennant.
Well, no shit, it's
Well,
not David
It isn't.
Tennant.
It was Matt Smith. I'm
It's
just,
as epic as David Tennant was.
and that's the problem. I don't think Matt
Yeah.
Smith will take off as well
Not
after
saying
this.
performance was
Mainly
shit,
based
was
on
shit
the
or
writing
something,
of the show, because
Yeah.
Moffat kind of
He did some things.
He fucked us. Yeah. Let's not lie. You there watching at home, maybe it was really good fun.
Maybe
adventures.
One day you were hurt by David Tennant.
It was really great fun adventures with Tennant, but then
Moffat makes Sherlock, man.
Moffat makes really great single
episodes arcs.
His episodes when RTD was running the series.
Well, it's him and Mycroft.
He made Blink
make Sherlock, so
right.
It's not just him.
The episodes that Moffat ran while Russell T Davies was running the show were probably the best episodes of that
I think you've said this on the show before.
Yeah, we probably have. Yeah. But when he took over the show, he just... Something happened. Something weird happened, and Sherlock remains consistently amazing.
Yeah,
I'd say it even got better in the second season.
Yeah, no, Sherlock
because you can't make too many episodes.
Is quality
3 episodes per season.
Yeah, quality all the way through. Doctor Who kind of floundered when he took over the show, and I know this season, the next season with our new Doctor, Peter Capaldi.
How do you forget that?
Because it's not something I remember.
Yeah,
I know that he's kind of backstage.
We'll hear it a lot of times. Eventually it'll be like.
But I know Moffat isn't he's still the main showrunner or whatever they call it in England. But he's also taking a step back and letting the other people.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's taking a step back and letting people run the show this way. So hopefully this will give way to a better season that won't have a lot of weird sex drama stuff, and it'll just be a good when Tennant. And I challenge you, Kit, and I'm sure you've already taken the challenge because I know you watch the show all the time. But if you watch David Tennant's episodes, there are just a lot of single episodes of just adventure. It's time traveling is the method of how he gets to a plot which he has to experience. Whereas when Moffat runs it,
it's more like Quantum Leap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. He time travels to an area, discovers something that's a plot, and he takes care of it. Whereas Moffat's run has been a lot of time travel is the entire plot of the series. Everything is
not necessarily bad, though. I mean, I granted, again,
right.
I have not seen all
but
of
it's
these
a lot.
things.
It gets really confusing. It gets really not confusing. It just gets convoluted.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that Moffat does where it's just time travel for the sake of time travel, solving his own murder.
I enjoyed
the JFK thing.
Yeah,
Red
there's
Dwarf,
just not even that, but it's just a lot of his plots were just really bizarre. Fucking I have to go back in time to the beginning of the episode to do that, and it was stupid. Whereas up until Moffat took it over, it was a lot, and especially in Tennant's run, it was he'd go to a new place, discover something that was weird, solve that weirdness. In a fun, exciting, it was an interesting way, and then leave. And then eventually you'd find out by the season finale that a lot of stuff was chained together. Okay. It was an overarching plot that you didn't see what was going on. They'd always give you a hint. Yeah. They'd give you hints about it, but until you saw the whole picture, it wasn't something. Whereas Moffat, just every plot is time travel. You got to go back in time. You got to cross.
It built up to something previously. Yeah.
Moffat's plots never ran up.
I mean, Russell T Davies is always ran.
But even
they built up something.
Even if they were even if they were single shot episodes, there was still a hint in the background of an overarching plot that
the
was
Bad Wolf effect,
especially in Bad Wolf. Whereas the Matt Smith Moffat episodes,
never did.
Nothing ever happened.
It was just random.
Well, you look at the season 2. Yeah. Look at season 2, and these are spoilers for season 2 for an season that was 3 years ago, where you see that he gets killed in the first episode in every.
Well, I heard that.
But he doesn't, because if he was to get killed, he'd regenerate, and then there's 3 more seasons after it.
I get that.
So you see that happen, but the entire season is based on time travel.
You watch, you're like, what the fuck? And then 5 minutes, what the fuck?
And every other episode is just time travel, maybe time travel, and let's time travel this, and
the Russell T Davies run was a lot more.
But that was I'm saying, Moffat used time travel as the main plot deliverance of everything he did.
Russell T Davies didn't need time travel at all.
He did. He used it.
He didn't need it.
No, he did. Every other series...
He used it because
he didn't rely on it.
He didn't rely on it.
There we go.
And that's the thing. Moffat relies on it. Not only RTD, but all the other people that wrote Doctor Who and filmed it from the first Doctor, because I've been seeing those episodes and I've watched them on Netflix. They have Classic Who on Netflix. Get that ding on there when we get Netflix credit, right? You got to do that.
On YouTube, you can't link to anything else other than YouTube videos. Yeah.
All right. Well, there's supposed to be a ding when we mention Netflix. So anyway,
okay, ding.
So there's all all the other episodes of Doctor Who that have always been, they've never relied on the time travel to be the main plot conveyance. They've used it as a method to get to a plot. They never used it solely to lean on the plot, which is what made the show so much different. Which is why a lot of people didn't really have that much. Didn't
like
really
if they had individual episodes didn't add up to the
as much as they did
season
to
finale.
Yeah,
like, it's still like it was like a good episode.
No, and they have good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
didn't rely.
I'm not saying that Matt Smith
time travel
episodes
or
were
anything like
bad.
that. It was like
No, I liked a lot of Matt Smith stuff. I rewatched it just to make sure that it wasn't just a knee jerk reaction to not having David Tennant anymore. Because at first, when he's that's the thing. You switch another actor, and a lot of people were like, "Fuck Matt Smith," and I'm like,
because Tennant is probably the most like beloved.
Yes,
Doctor.
exactly.
Yeah, like,
and I really
quit watching after David Tennant.
Here, side anecdote, because I watched them all. Like I had the entire Tennant run in Eccleston, like the reboot of Doctor Who. I had it all.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched it all at all. At all. Yes, that makes sense. That's a proper sentence.
At all.
At all. So my friend was like, "Here, Doctor Who's a great series," and I know I'd seen some episodes with you and Casey. Like I didn't really pay attention to them. I know that they were on, and you guys were big fans. I hadn't watched them, but then I got them all on my hard drive and I put them at home. Not that we can do on piracy, but I am talking about piracy right now. So I had all of the 2005 till the end of David Tennant's run on my computer, and I watched them. And going from Eccleston to Tennant was like physically jarring for me. Like I was like, Eccleston was my doctor, and then we had David Tennant, and I hated David Tennant for like.
Wow.
I didn't like him for like 3 or 4 episodes.
3 or 4 episodes?
Yeah, I did not like it. I was so sold on fucking Eccleston. When we went to Tennant, I was like, I'm mad at this. And then like eventually I finally liked him. And in fear, I really like David Tennant. I still think Eccleston is a way better character. I will till this day, I love Eccleston more than Tennant.
Who's your favorite Doctor, Kid?
It was Tennant.
Yeah.
It was Tennant.
Like I watched it. I watched it when it came to Sci-Fi Channel.
And I know most of everybody loves Tennant more than Eccleston, but I love Eccleston.
Here's the thing.
And
I love Eccleston's the reason I watched Doctor Who in the first place. I saw the commercials for it on the Sci-Fi Channel. I was like, this looks like this is like a kind of doing of the Doctor Who series. It looks interesting.
Really?
I watched a lot of redoing, but it was continuation and whatnot. I started watching it, and when they came to that part where they switched from Eccleston to David Tennant, I was like, whoa, he's leaving? What the fuck? He's like, we could change. He's like, no, don't! And then he changed, like in the few seconds.
I really didn't like that first
in the few
episode he was
seconds that David Tennant was on screen, I was like, this guy looks kind of fun.
Alright. See, I didn't like the way he acted in the first episode he appeared. I didn't like him. And I didn't like him in the second one.
Well, he was asleep for most of the episode.
No, but when he showed up, I didn't like Tennant. I learned to like Tennant, and I like him. I don't like him as much as I liked Eccleston.
Well, Eccleston was so hard and
Eccleston was
cold at times.
Eccleston was fucking real.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Let that be a lesson to you, Internet, right now. Eccleston was real. And on the streets, when you only got your D12 next to you, you want someone that's real.
He was experienced.
All right.
And he kind of gave you the feeling like he's been through some shit.
See, I didn't get that.
Okay.
I got that feeling from him. But
couple things.
David Tennant made it fun.
Couple things I wanted to bring up
D12.
along with this news story, some things I thought of while you guys were talking. First of all, there was a lot of like speculation, and maybe it was just people just throwing it out there because of the Moffat thing. But a lot of people were talking about, could Benedict Cumberbatch be the new Doctor?
I heard that.
And I believe he even said, no, I'm not doing it, and I wouldn't do it. Like,
there were a lot of people that
was his line. He's one iconic character. He doesn't want to do another.
There were a lot of people that
things.
were rumored to be the Doctor that they were like, oh, maybe this person. I even heard
the other one, which I want to get into.
Rupert Green.
That's not what I heard. Okay, the other one that I heard of.
I heard the dude that played fucking.
And this came out after Capaldi.
Ginger.
After Capaldi was announced. After Capaldi was announced, I guess Neil Gaiman said something about there was a possible black Doctor that they offered the role to, and he turned it down. And to me, and to a lot of people on the internet, I'm sure this meant Idris Elba to me. But
here's the thing.
He is Luther for the BBC. He also works on TV. He's not just a movie star.
Here's the thing, and I want.
So, I think it would have been kind of interesting though if it would have been Idris
Brandon,
Elba.
you edit this shit. If you can cut this out, send it directly to Neil Gaiman. We will pay you any money to write Doctor Who. And we
periodically.
will start a Kickstarter. If we can get a Kickstarter,
We
do
can
you
leave
know
the
how many
same.
millions of dollars
We can leave
Neil
the same.
Gaiman could get to write Doctor Who full? Because he's written 2 of probably the best episodes
I've
ever.
always heard that. It's part of the reason why I've always
Wait, I
wanted to
remember
watch
the Doctor's
Doctor Who.
wife. What else did you write?
I wrote the Cyberman episode.
Part of the reason
Neil
why I've
Widget.
always
Yeah.
part of the reason why I've always wanted to watch Doctor
With
Who
Willow.
is Neil Gaiman's involvement. Is part of the reason why I've always wanted to watch.
God,
Part of the reason.
Look at Neil Gaiman. Just write this full time. We will get the internet to pay you any money. He lives in Wisconsin. We could go. We could go drive.
Who
over-
lives in Wisconsin?
Neil Gaiman. He lives.
does?
Like right off of the House on the Rock. He's in
Really?
like western Wisconsin, southwestern
Where Thor
Wisconsin.
took his son.
Yeah.
Why do you keep saying that over and over again?
Because Josh kept on telling me over and over again when we went to the House on the Rock.
Right. No. He lives in southwestern Wisconsin.
That's awesome.
Because he loves the House on
It's
the Rock.
American
thing.
Gods.
American Gods is amazing.
Makes sense.
Neil Gaiman is one of the greatest people ever. Ever.
But he needs to get Miracle Man printed in trades or reprinted in some way. That is my 2 cents to Neil Gaiman.
No, figure
that shit out.
Now you made
Alan
it do
Moore
work.
gave it to you. Alan Moore gave it to you, right? The rights,
No.
supposedly, and I know it's a big fun thing. We need to get that figured
I
out.
get my American
wanna
Gods-
read-
Don't bitch
I
at
wanna
Neil
read-
Gaiman.
I'm not bitching
He's
at-
doing the best he can.
I'm bitching at whoever is in charge of that, whoever owns the rights, or they need to figure it out or whatever. Because I really want to read some fucking Miracle Man, all
You
right?
can read it without that.
You're not going to
I
read
want
it if
to
you
read
get
it in
anyway.
actual comics. I don't want to read it on a computer screen. Anyways, that was my
All right,
2 cents.
first we get American Gods TV series. Then we get Sandman. I don't know, anything.
TV series?
More.
Again.
We just need
Series,
more
yeah.
Sandman.
Well, he
God.
is doing new Sandman, remember? Remember he announced, like, not that long ago that he's doing Sandman side stories or follow-up stories or
He's
something
just
like that?
doing. God, the Endless are probably the great. Oh, God. I love you, Neil Gaiman.
Anyways.
If you ever,
Sorry
like.
to ruin our discussion. I'm not
Look
going
at
to saying that.
not to say that those arrows that have fire in your trees that are on fire are like weird. They're love notes. I just they're on fire when I send them. Don't blame me.
All right. So, anyways.
Love you.
So, is there anything else anyone wants to say about Peter Capaldi?
I don't think we said
being
anything
the Doctor?
about Peter Capaldi.
I know, we didn't really mention it. Well, because we don't really know who he is. I mean, he's kind of a new entity at this point.
Looking at his looking at the style of him and knowing how they've wrote
His mannerisms, the
yeah,
expressions
well,
on his
how they've
faces.
written other
I think it
Doctors.
looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who
I
hasn't
assume
watched it really, so I'm
I assume
looking
he'll
at
be
it
a
going,
chill, cool older Doctor who's not gonna
Yeah.
be involved with the companion so much and just be
Yeah.
like he'll be the David Bowie
And I
Doctor
think-
that I always wanted.
Ooh, David Bowie would have been fantastic.
No,
That would have got me to watch it.
Oh my
I
god!
would've
No,
watched the shit
I've
out
been
of it.
saying since fucking the announcement is like we need David Bowie as the Doctor or the Valeyard, which is the anti-Doctor that's from the Doctor that should be coming up.
Complaints I keep on hearing now are like,
How do you complain about someone that hasn't
complaints
done
about
anything?
Capaldi. Like I'm not sure. I like the idea of Peter Capaldi doing
Why?
being the Doctor
No,
because
I
he
think-
was in Fires of Pompeii and that was episode Doctor.
Yeah,
He was
did
like-
you know
I
Karen
was like-
Gillian was in that?
Yeah, exactly. I said like,
episode?
fuck you. Did you know like Karen Gillian was in an episode of that?
Which
Do
just
you know
makes me
the
think
woman-
they're going to drag everyone from that episode.
Do you know
Everyone that was in that episode is now
whatever
going to
the
show
fuck-
up as a main
The
role.
chick who played like fucking Martha Jones was in an episode of Doctor Who. A lot of people have been in Doctor Who previous episodes.
No, they just
like does it fucking matter?
that just means that they
Did he
they get
stand
their
out?
actor pool and they
Yeah,
like
so
them.
like, did he stand out to you so much that you're like, I can't think of any of this guy as any other person other than the father and the family to Fires of Pompeii? Really?
I mean, people like to complain right away when anything.
When
Of course
Stormageddon
he
grows up, he'll be in the fucking.
When
series.
anything's announced, people complain. That's kind of what
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
do. So
Bitch,
I don't
bitch,
care about
bitch.
that.
Fuck you.
I think it seems interesting. As someone who doesn't really watch the show, I think it seems interesting. From what I've gathered,
as someone who's
from what
watched
I've
the-
gathered
yeah.
is Tennant was kind of wacky, Matt Smith was kind of wacky. So this guy I think may bring
Serious.
a little
Well,
more,
no, I still
a
think
little
it'll be
bring
wacky.
it down a little more, not be as like off the wall.
I still
fucking
expect
nuts.
a little bit of wacky. It's just
Yeah, sure, but I'm saying,
But he'll be the mature.
more like Walter
Yeah.
Bishop wacky.
Yes.
and not.
And you
as
know what, to be
much,
fair? if he was English,
Not so much
I
to
would
do with
want him as
LSD and
a
mushrooms part, but
huh?
if what's his name? You know his name.
Oh yeah, I do know his name.
If you don't know it right now, you're
John Noble.
John Noble. If John Noble,
John Noble would've
was
been awesome.
English,
I would have watched it.
he
if it was
would.
John Noble.
If he would be the Doctor,
Isn't he English?
I thought he was American. Because they only have Americans.
He's in
do
Lord of the
Joe
Rings. I mean,
They only have Americans as the Doctor. I know that's a thing, or not American. They
his
only have
voice-
English
British,
people.
his
yeah.
voice is a specific way to it that I can't fucking
But
tell.
if John Noble was in,
watch behind the scenes footage. I'm pretty
I
sure
really
he
don't.
has an accent, and I thought
Maybe
it was
John
Noble's-
Noble is an
maybe John
amazing-
Noble's the Valkyrie.
Yes. Oh, John Noble's the Valeyard. Holy shit! Oh my fucking god!
God damn it!
Like I said, that's
Make it happen!
Anything John Noble wants to do.
yes. Well, no, or David Bowie.
Or David Bowie.
Because all right, to the uninitiated, because it's an older plot thing, and that's a lot of stuff that people were speculating when Smith was in charge, or Smith was the doctor.
Smith will turn David Bowie?
No, Smith wouldn't turn David Bowie. So the Valeyard showed up around, I think, the 4th or 5th Doctor arcs. He's the Doctor that they have quoted as after the 12th and final regeneration of the Doctor. It's pretty much all the evil of the Doctor. He kind of shunted it out, and it regenerated into its own form and became its own.
Is that what John Hurt is?
He should be.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like there's an evil Doctor that runs around, and it forms. And it back when you're like the 5th Doctor, it wasn't an issue. Now that the series has gone on for so long, now it is actually where it's supposed to happen. Everyone was theorizing that the Dream Lord in the the Smith episode would be him, or that after he regenerated again, that would be it, which would be this season. And there's even speculation that John Hurt, who we all know is going to play a doctor, but we don't know which doctor, which is going to be in the 50th episode.
You've heard the same shit about people saying, like, oh, he's actually the real 9th Doctor.
Well,
and that,
no,
like, like Esselstyn's actually 10th. And, like, it's fuck you.
Well, no,
don't
here's
do
the thing.
That.
Here's the thing. Moffat is such
Time
an
travel's confusing enough.
Moffat is such an asshole that he would disrupt the entire number scheme to
I will
do that.
fly to fucking England and punch him right in the face.
You won't, but I can see that happening. There are theories that he's due to the Doctor before the first Doctor.
Hey, as long as he keeps making Sherlock, I'll leave him alone.
No, there's theories that John Hurt will play a Doctor that takes place before the first Doctor, before William Hartnell, where he apparently did some bullshit and then and then he ran away. There's also the theory, which I think is going to happen, where he's the Doctor between Paul McRan, the 8th Doctor, and Christopher Eccleston, the 9th, because we don't know how he regenerated.
What happened between those two?
We don't know what happened between them. We know the Time War
Which is why people believe he's Doctor in the Time War.
We think that's a Doctor that showed up in the Time War and
he's the one who did all that shit.
He did a lot of...
Not the spoilers, but all that shit during the Time War.
We think he's a Doctor that did a lot of Time War crimes.
Shit that you kind of go like, really? The Doctor did that?
Yes.
It was like,
he may be the Time War crime Doctor.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. It does
the
fuck
end
up
of the war.
Number screen.
Yeah, what I did was in the sake of sanity and whatever the hell else.
So it would fuck up a lot of things, but Moffat doesn't really care about genre. Is one thing we've ever established.
Seriously, I will fucking... I don't know how much care how much money I'll take. I'll go there. I'll put
ultimately, we have the Valeyard to be interested in this series, which is the thing is everyone's been expecting.
It's been building up to.
It's been building up to since the 80s, 70s, 80s.
Well, since the reboot of the Doctor, probably.
Well, right, but we know that this regeneration is the regeneration that
continuation
plops this character into existence. That's already been established.
When Matt Smith came up, people said, "Yeah, the Valeyard's coming out."
But it also makes it even more eminent because if there was a regeneration that they've been ignoring, that makes that this Doctor is the final Doctor. Not that plot stuff can't make it different, but if Time Lords are only allowed 13...
It's a very successful show. They're not going to end the show.
No, it isn't. Yeah. But Time Lords are only allowed 12 regenerations. You start as one, and then you get 12 more. This would be the 12th Doctor. This would be the final Doctor.
Knowing nothing about this show, at least in terms of what you're talking about, from an outsider's perspective, it'd be kind of cool if they just had a new character then next time. Like a new Time Lord or whatever. But then again, that's me with
if they want to end
death and just
if they want to end it, who am I to argue? If freaking Moffat did it, I kind of would be very annoyed. If that was his choice to end it, almost like I don't know, like his choice, but he was the director who went.
Do you think they do end it at some point?
Just piss me
off.
No.
I
don't you think it'll always keep going?
I think this could go on.
Yeah, no, I think this will go on
until I learned about the Valeyard. I thought this could go on and on and on and on. But.
Well, that's the thing. It's a legacy show, and you can't just really casually decide to stop it. And I think when you...
A lot of people thought Star Trek would go on forever.
And it's still... Implementation's still going on.
On TV, though? As a TV show?
Star Trek?
I've heard rumors of another series starting up.
I don't know.
But even that, I mean, if you take
Taking it all back to Dracula now.
People probably
we went all full circle back to Dracula now.
People said similar things about Star Trek Next Generation. There was going to be a bad show, didn't they?
Well, no, they did. And then to be fair, in the first season, it was.
If they make one and it's good enough, it'll stick.
But no, I think I think Doctor Who is one of those legacies that you're not going to be the one. You even as
It may go away for a while, but it'll eventually come back.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think. I think even
Even
as
if we were to stop.
picture yourself as a BBC executive. Are you the one that's going to sign the thing that says Doctor Who is no longer a show?
Oh, fuck no.
You're not.
And remember, the Brits...
It's too important.
It's one of the main things they have left.
And it's not just that. The Brits do TV completely different than we do.
They do.
Right? They'll let them do however short of a season they want and how
Yes.
many seasons they want. And they're not so much of, you need to have 23 episodes, you need to do every year, and you need to do all that kind of stuff.
It's one of those things that we have to...
They're open to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So.
Because the original creators are all dead.
Yeah.
Whatever to say. It's just, that's one of those series, it's a legacy. You're not going to be the one that signs the death fucking warrant
50 years
on that.
on
50 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. I see Doctor Who going on until
the
foreseeable future. I don't know how the future will evolve as we grow older. When we're all like 80 years old, I don't know what TV is going to be like then.
I try to plan in ways that
I do
introduce this to my nephew and niece.
Yeah.
I'll get them into it.
I don't...
Honestly, I do.
I
think they would enjoy this.
I just don't see
Sure.
Doctor Who ending anytime soon.
I think it'll go on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Same thing with Star Trek. Star Trek is another... Like, even if it's been rebooted.
Even if it's just movies and stuff.
Even if it's been rebooted and movies
Everything
and stuff.
ends. It's nice to know that something keeps on going on and on and on.
And
that's the thing.
Look at how things are.
And
anyways,
regeneration allows it to go on and on and on.
All we have is sequels and reboots and remakes and all that kind of stuff anyway.
But even with
nothing really stays
outside of
dead.
Doctor Who, we get like series like even Star Trek where Enterprise ended and it took like how many years until they were like, hey, let's
3 years
from Enterprise to the Star Trek reboot.
Oh, between?
Yeah. See, that's what I see. Like, I see even this series, like, even if people ignored it, because they ignored Doctor Who for so long, like 8-10 years.
Yeah,
I see this being the series that they'll just be like, hey,
someone will come back to it.
You know, this past weekend was a Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, and I thought, like,
this weekend was World Chicago that we could have went to.
Wait, this weekend?
Yeah.
I probably got emails about it.
Today and tomorrow.
Oh.
Anyways, end was yesterday. But, yeah. So, anyways, I think that's pretty much all we have to say then for now, right?
Yeah.
Until they see how Peter Capaldi does.
Someone else has to catch up.
One day, right? I say that about everything.
Don't say one day. Say sometime this year.
It is one of the things that are on the top of my list of things to catch up on. This,
if we need
Doctor Who, Breaking Bad.
If we need to take a weekend
Battlestar
to come
Galactica.
here,
Those are like the 3 that I really need to go back and watch. I missed all of that too. See, like you said, you saw commercials on Sci-Fi. I never watched Sci-Fi Channel.
Outside of the...
As a person who likes Sci-Fi, I never really watched Sci-Fi Channel. I always thought it was cheesy or weird.
I watched Stargate SG-1, Stargate...
See, I didn't watch any of that.
Outside of the Jimi Hendrix arc, I thought it was alright.
What?
Battlestar Galactica puts a lot of faith in Jimi.
Oh, yeah,
it's a lot
of
of these shows are things I heard about after they'd already started, and then I went, well, I want to start from the beginning, and then I just never had time, and that's how they become.
That's how they become
like that.
Honestly, watching a bit in the middle makes me want to watch the beginning. It's happened several times.
I like to start from the beginning. That's just me. So,
I remember watching Battlestar Galactica and Pete coming back from class going, all right, what happened? I'm like, I watched 4 episodes in between since the last one he saw. I'm not going to sit here in the middle of an episode and explain to you what just happened.
So, yeah. So, anyways.
Because that show gets fucking weird.
We can have a gathering here at some point.
Let's
for
close
Doctor
this
Who.
out.
We're going to close this out.
Watch it.
Let's, okay, so that's it. So we'll see, I guess, how Peter Capaldi does, how he's received, and all that kind of things. Maybe we'll check back in on this, and maybe at that point I'll have watched a little more. Who knows? Let's make baby steps. Maybe I've watched some of the Eccleston
maybe
stuff.
At some point you'll get a little bored and you'll find...
Bored. I wish... Why do you think we make this show? I never feel bored. I just want to make sure nobody else does.
I was going to make a kicker.
So...
I was going to say you're going to get bored and you resist boredom by watching Doctor Who.
Maybe if I break a leg or something and I'm bedridden for
Too soon.
Wow,
Too soon.
really?
I'm just saying.
Too soon.
Sorry. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like Doctor Who, you may like our other videos because for some reason I have a feeling we're going to get more videos.
There are links right here.
Usual. So I'm not going to do that. But yeah,
you can do it in captions. You're going to fucking do it.
Yeah. So check out the rest of our stuff. Like, subscribe, do all the normal things. And,
right here. Oh, I'm doing right here.
Till then, find your own way of resisting boredom.
Stupid!
Or
wait, one second. really hope it's out of the thumbnail, but I'm doing
You guys get LARP here.
That was it?
Penis banana.
Everybody loves wood, man.
Whoa.
He loves wood.
Revenge! Revenge!
You know, at
It's
the time,
great.
at the time we didn't know it, but think about how great that cast of Gone in 60 Seconds is.
Nick Cage.
Well, of course Nick Cage, but we knew Nick Cage at that point.
Yeah.
But Vinnie Jones was really an unknown commodity at that point.
Angelina
Christopher
Jolie.
Eccleston, Timothy Oliphant.
Ooh.
Like,
No, that...
an awesome fucking side
Nick
cast.
Cage has
like,
been the jumping board of many a career.
Master P?
Something
Master
on.
P is in
No,
Gone in 60
fuck
Seconds.
Master P.
That's how great the cast is.
I can read you some reviews for Samsung Push. Samsung's Push is the update that we ever get once in a while to the pushing thing. If you push on your phone,
Okay.
they update that constantly. Here are some reviews. Immediately after downloading the latest update, I got a call from a friend letting me know that they're making a sequel to the greatest Sinbad movie of all time, First Kid. Dreams can come true. Thanks, Samsung. After I downloaded this most recent update, President Obama called me personally to congratulate me on winning the nationwide lottery of $98 million. I love you, Samsung. This update could protect your phone from water damage. Dropped my phone in the toilet and lifted it into the air and pushed my note back into my pocket. Thanks, Samsung.
See, they have a note. They don't even have it S3 or whatever.
Since I
That's
installed this
smart.
app, I've been doing more pushing with my wife and don't need Viagra. Thanks. Amazing. I automatically beat every Zelda game immediately after downloading this update. This is unbelievable. This update was so good that Princess Zelda gave me an amazing last night. Thanks, Samsung.